This is 7 National News, and in our top story, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, delivered a speech at the conclusion of the Mohammed bin Zayed Majlis for future generations. The Crown Prince described the youth as partners in the nation, and that our real weapon is knowledge, and that our ambition is to compete with the world's advanced nations such as Finland, New Zealand, South Korea and Singapore, who have achieved success in human development, education and economy. He also cited science, investment in science and knowledgeable leadership that has a definite and clear vision and roadmap for any country to achieve success in competition, and that progress in the UAE cannot be made without the youth. He also spoke about some of the achievements made by the UAE under the leadership of the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, noting that we have 23 million tourists, a strong economy, telecom networks that are excellent at both the regional and global level, and also that we enjoy security and safety. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of Dubai's Executive Council, has approved Executive Council Resolution number 4 of 2017, related to fines and fees of the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority. As per the resolution, anyone who looks to carry out an activity in the aviation sector in Dubai is required to get a license from the DCAA, which is for a renewable period of a year. The application for renewal should be submitted at least 30 days before the expiry of the licence. The resolution also specifies the fees associated with the services of the DCAA, including those for licences related to the aviation sector, the accreditation of institutes and landing fees for private jets, among others. A fine of 5,000 dirhams is imposed on those who carry out activities in the aviation sector without receiving a licence or a no objection letter from the authority, including a fine of 30,000 dirhams for an activity that can seriously endanger air navigation. A fine between 2,000 and 20,000 dirhams will be issued for using non-registered drones for commercial activities, and a fine of 10,000 dirhams for establishing a warehouse to store dangerous goods in an aviation area. As Phase 1 of the Sustainable City in Dubai, which is the first operational net zero development, achieves completion, senior UAE government officials and industry experts were offered a tour of the future carbon-friendly city, which comprises of 5 residential clusters and an urban farm, running the entire length of the city. According to officials, the Sustainable City, which is a 5 million square foot development, is a practical implementation of social, economic and environmental sustainability in a built-in environment, and is conceived and designed in such an innovative way where all the energy consumed is produced inside of the city. While stating that the future city is a real milestone for Dubai and the world, officials revealed that Phase 1, which makes up 80% of the development, will also include a buffer zone, an equestrian centre, a farm and a sustainable city mosque, and that all of the L-shaped villas meet the highest of environmental performance standards. Based on the concept of 100% water recycling, the Sustainable City's water strategy aims to minimise the amount of water consumed per household by using water-saving devices and also introducing recycling stations in each cluster in order to recycle all the water entering the city. One more pillar of the city, according to officials, is the introduction of the concept of zero-mileage food, where the objective is to reduce the travel distance from farm to table, while also bringing down the distance travelled and reducing the carbon footprint. Other features include improving the microclimate of the city, where the temperature inside of the city can be controlled, and minimising the heat island effect, which is common in hot countries in the region and also around the world.
Another pillar is to achieve economic sustainability, so it has to be, one, affordable, and we have a unique feature in the city, which is everybody who invests and decides or chooses to live in the city will pay 0 service fees and 0 maintenance fees. And this is, again, we believe this is the future. This is how a sustainable city should be. It's not enough to buy at a good selling price, but also you have to think of the OPEX. and this is how much money you will have to pay and incur in expenditures when you live in a community or in a city. In the sustainable city, we bring it down to zero. This is what makes it much more economically viable. And lastly, on the social front as well, we believe if everything is green and everything is fine economically, that's not enough. We also need to establish a neighborhood. We need people to feel they're part of a community. It has to be safe. That's why we have areas of the city that are car-free. So all the residential clusters are car-free, which makes the area extremely safe for children and for passerbys. And this is our showcase piece in Dubai, and we believe Dubai is a platform where we can deploy these best practices. They come to fruition. We have enabling policies, and if the policies haven't been issued yet, they are in the pipeline. And from Dubai, we believe we can scale this up. We can replicate this city in different climatic zones. It can grow in size. Either it can become bigger or it can become smaller. We can also grow vertically. In other words, we can be a low-rise community, or we can be a mid-rise community or high-rise community by applying those same features. So this is what we bring. This is what Dubai has achieved, and we hope that this will inspire future developments in Dubai and beyond.
Government departments and private corporations in the MENA region are being urged to devise a clear communications protocol and increase their understanding of the audience when devising crisis management strategies. Over 50 communications experts, policymakers and leaders of the media industry gathered during the Communications Forum, which was held under the title of Crisis Communication, Riding Out the Storm, Trends, Challenges and Best Practices. According to the organisers, the two-day forum looked to assess the general state of the communication industry and how crisis management is becoming a recurring situation. The opening panel discussion focused on the impact of social media on the issue of spreading information and also highlighted the importance of the right training. Speaking during the discussions, panellists warned that corporations should be wary of exaggerating a developing issue, which could potentially lead to a crisis and prove to be detrimental to an organisation. Speakers added that when planning a strategy, there should be a crisis management simulation at least twice a year, and a clear operating procedure should be laid out. On a macro level, a senior government communication advisor highlighted the importance of developing legislation such as the social media laws as one of the areas to avert a crisis. Understanding regional context and preparing for unexpected circumstances were highlighted as some of the key recommendations.
First of all, you don't wait for the crisis to happen to communicate and to flow. You have to have a strategic and a continuous or sustainable communication with your public. When I mean your audience, when I talk about the audience, I mean your internal audience, your employees, the media, and the general public. So having that open channel and transparent channels at all times will make your job easier in times and difficulties and the crisis. Regardless if there is an evolution in of the social media usage and the accessibility to everyone, I would think that the governments now need to think, as they have a special engagement programs with the media, they have to open up also for the maybe social media influencers, for example, which now they have reach sometimes exceeds what the media outlets are reaching out, and to keep them on top of what's happening in terms of updates and work done in general. So when it comes to crisis, they have open channel, transparent, and trust built over years.
Over 1,200 drivers have been fined for leaving their vehicles in disabled parking spaces since the start of this year. That's according to Dubai Police. The General Department of Traffic has revealed that a total of 1,277 motorists were hit with a 1,000 dirham fine and 4 black points in January and February. That's compared to a total of 8,705 offences for the whole of last year. Ahmed Barouzian, the chief executive of the licensing agency at the Road and Transport Authority, said in the case of a repeated offence, their car will be clamped or impounded, as people should show respect to the disabled. The police also warned motorists against parking in front of fire hydrants and ambulance spaces. And according to Colonel Saif Meher Al-Mazri, the director of the traffic department, offenders will have their cars immediately impounded. A Facebook IQ survey has found that 79% of people in the UAE have increased their online video viewing over the past year, and that smartphones are driving the momentum. Facebook IQ commissioned research company Kantar Media to conduct a biometrics lab and a survey among nearly 2,000 people from the age of 18 over in the UAE and the UK who regularly watch short-form videos online. The results showed that people in the UAE are 1.40 times more likely to consume video content daily on mobile devices than computers, and that people spend 5 times longer looking at video than static content on Facebook and Instagram. Some of the other key findings showed that 77% of people surveyed prefer video under 10 minutes, while 65% of millennials surveyed say that they watch large numbers of video clips in a row, and 60% do it without even realizing it. Additionally, among lab participants in the UK and the UAE, videos on Instagram inspires 1.80 times higher levels of joy among viewers than in the same content viewed on other digital platforms. And finally, looking to other news now, on the occasion of International Women's Day on Wednesday, the 8th of March, the opening show of the International Women Photographers Award was held in Dubai for the first time, featuring the works of top 10 women photographers who were selected among 800 submissions from over 70 countries. The opening show of the award was held on Wednesday at La Galerie, which is a recently opened gallery space of Alliance Franchise Dubai. During a discussion on the works of contemporary women photographers in the Middle East and commenting on the award and exhibition, which is making its debut in Dubai, organisers highlighted that women are an influential part of the creative force here in the UAE, and their aim is to further promote creativity, encourage fresh talent, and create awareness about the achievements of women photographers in the region. One of the award-winning photographs showcased the works of Kuwaiti photographer Farah Salam, who explored the experience of being in the middle of beautiful surroundings and yet remaining trapped in a box created by either society or ourselves. The annual International Women Photographers Award, established back in 2001 by French photographer Séverine Blanchet, is open to all women photographers over the age of 18 and aims to provide a platform for women to exhibit their works around the world. The exhibition, which is currently being showcased until the 3rd of April this year, will next be taking place in Paris, New Delhi, Riyadh and Bahrain over the course of the year.
YWPA, it's International Women Photographer Award, and it's to ask a call for all the world from ladies photographer. And this year, example, we have more than 800 submissions, and we have 11 finalists and 1 laureate. And we are really happy because we have a lot of work from east of this part of this world, from South America, from Asia, from Europe, from America. Means we was really happy to see so many good work. Means we was very happy now to show first to Dubai, and after this exhibition is going around the world. I hope all photographers are more confident, you know, and because we have a place. We are ladies, we have many things to do also, but when we are a photographer, it's always our view. Example, sometimes when you go to the warm place, you are ladies, you are a man photographer, but it's always very different what we show, because we are a little bit different, but doesn't mean, you know, picture of photography are really special when a man photographer, but it's different writing. And what I want with YWPA, it's always to find a poetry of the writing. This, for me, is the most important.